I consider myself a hard worker, yet I suspect my employer isn't using me to my full potential because of my vocal stance on social issues. Do you think my protest is keeping me off the field?
I think without a question it's keeping Colin Kaepernick off the field, and I think it's appropriately keeping Colin Kaepernick off the field. He's not in a mindset to play quarterback in the National Football League. He certainly hasn't studied the playbook. He certainly isn't in creating a team environment, a leadership environment around himself. Listen, my opponent has been one of the vocal defenders of Colin Kaepernick and his stance to kneel during the national anthem. As I said at the top of this, I'm wearing red, white, and blue because I believe in America. I believe in the national anthem. I believe in the things that made America great. My opponent doesn't. He'll probably think Colin Kaepernick should play. Colin Kaepernick can't play. He's no good, and he's not prepared.
Awfully judgmental. You're creating turbulence where none exists. The country's not looking for more turbulence. Let's be honest about this. There's a reason Colin Kaepernick did not play. Backups in the NFL do not play unless there's an injury. Ryan Fitzpatrick threw 6 interceptions. He was never pulled. Carson Palmer threw 4 interceptions. He was never pulled. Backups play due to injuries and injuries only. There is enough chaos and turbulence in the world. Let's not create more. And I love farmers.
Colin, I need to jump in here. Mr. Cowherd, how do you respond to Blaine Gabbert being 38% on completions when throwing the ball 10 or more yards down the field?
You're going to give up on him?
Yes.
It's going to give up on him. Listen, it's a long season. You know the cliche, marathon, not a sprint. This is not a great roster. He has very little to deal with. He's got a brand new staff. I'm not sure if he likes the GM, and the GM and the coach and the owner get along. The reality is, if you look at expectations, which will always in life determine happiness or bitterness, expectations are 6-10. I think they beat Dallas this weekend. I'm an optimist. You're a pessimist. They're fine.
With all due respect, this is an example of my opponent flip-flopping once again. He's all about the money. He's told you that. He's part of the Go Green movement. Colin Kaepernick makes $20 million a year. They're paying Blaine Gabbert peanuts. If my opponent were consistent in his position, down 37-3, you put the quarterback in that's making $20 million unless his brain is so scrambled and he's so far down the Twitter rabbit hole and all the nonsense spewed on Twitter. That's the only reason you keep him on the bench, is because his stance is so illogical and his mindset is wrong. My opponent flip-flops again.
All right, Mr. Whitlock, I'm going to have to cut you off. We're going to have to move on.